came up actually by a picture. 6 of my girlfriends went out for my cousin's birthday, and we took an old-timey picture in Virginia Beach, and they said it looked as if we worked at a brothel. So the book it tells about 6 different women and their path and how they ended up working at this brothel, and it has to deal with racism, it has to deal with broken households, incest, different things that's going on in the home. Oh, let me jump back. I am originally from New York. I've been in Virginia going on 18 years. I am 39. I have 3 children, single, divorced mother, happily divorced. Right now, I'm trying to make this a trilogy. I want to expand. I'm looking at it to become a movie. I dream big. It's in me to dream big. So right now, I'm working on part 2. So when you read the book, and you're gonna get upset because I ended like up in the air. They walking out the door. You know something's getting ready to happen, and the book ends. So that's how I want to grab my audience to keep everyone coming back. The heroine, which is Giselle, I based her off of my character, off of me and my strengths and my weaknesses. And with my weaknesses, I gave her strength from it. So I just built from that. And it's different characters, and her best friend is actually my best friend that's sitting right there. And her name is Diana, but I made her a different race, but she knows it's her. So just basically, I hope y'all, when you get the book, I just hope you enjoy it, and just thank you for coming.
Hello, my name is Pierson Lee. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I am 35 years old, going on 36, but we're not going to tell anybody else that you heard that here. This book is a book that I could not keep inside. I began writing another story about a single girl in the city and trying to find love, but it didn't keep me up at night. It didn't make me wonder what was going to happen to her next. It was like the regular blueprint, you know, oh, she meets the guy, this doesn't work, and then she goes on, meets another guy, that doesn't work, and she wonders what's wrong with her. But it didn't mean anything to me. This book is very loosely based on my own life. The character in the book, her name is Rabbit, and what happens to her, she's raped by a family member. She goes on, he's actually famous as their children, when they are children, and he goes on to become a famous basketball player. What happens is that they find out that he's raped another young girl, and then she has to decide if she's going to keep her secret to herself or if she's going to tell in order to pretty much let the other young woman off the hook, and that she doesn't have to be cast out like how Rabbit was. This book, it starts as when she's an adult, but it goes back to Brooklyn in 1986 with Kangol and Lee Jeans and hip hop when it was new and fresh, and it just travels from her life just before the rape, after the rape, like she comes from being a bubbly girl to being sullen and down and depressed, and it just travels from there onto adulthood and all the relationships she goes through. What this book does is it gives you an insider's look on what it's like to have been raped. It also shows how her relationships are affected. In essence, when she's raped, she becomes broken, and trying to maintain relationships when you're broken is just difficult because all you have are a string of broken relationships and dysfunctional relationships. So I hope that this book, I hope that it's entertaining as well as informative. I'm finding that the men have a problem with the book because they look at the character, and one of the after effects of rape is sometimes promiscuity. So the men are all like, well, why did she do that? And what's wrong with her? And she's this and that. But I think after reading the book, they get a better idea of where she's coming from. Also, men when they are fathers, I think this is an excellent book for them to read because you'll be able to understand what a woman goes through trying to maintain herself and trying to maintain the family and not disrupt anything. That's pretty much it. I hope you read, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you question it.
Sure. Not everybody go at once. No, go ahead.
I first have a question for you.
because I read your book. I wanted to talk about how in your book, Rabbit goes through a lot of things, but how she finds this inner strength and how she starts maintaining her relationship with God, and she like pulls on that strength. I'd like you to speak on that. Her healing process.
Rabbit is raised in the church. Her mother is very spiritual, and she's very much in the Bible and making sure that God maintains a presence in their house. At times she veers away from it because it's too much for her. She doesn't really care for I would say the restrictions of religion and going to church. But because she's raising it, as she goes on, she does go back to what she was taught, and then her faith does play a big part in her healing as a person.
And when you were writing Silk and you were using this book as your healing process from being in an abusive relationship, I want to know, like, is there a character in this book that really represents you?
You know what? I'm a little bit of each woman in the book. I was married, which Jenny and Margaret are. The abuse took place in the marriage, which is what Jenny is going through. I was a successful career woman, which Sylvia and Crystal are, and I still am. I don't base my life on monetary. My life has always been about substance with everything that I do. And also with Joy, I'm now a single mom raising my 2 sons, and my youngest son has autism. And it was very, very difficult because the last situation that happened, they witnessed the abuse take place, and they saw mommy battered, and this happened after my divorce. And immediately after that, you know, my ex-husband was removed. But I draw my strength and how I wrote the book through each woman. And I think what I wanted to do for the book was to balance out each character, but make each character going through something different. Sometimes when you read the books of the characters, there's a lot of similarities, and there are, because they're all women. But at the same time, I wanted to just make sure that, no, my name is I'm not in the book, but I'm in the book. And I think for me, when I finished it, I was happy with it. It's a short story. You know, people kept telling me, why don't you make it longer? I said, no, this is it. I'm happy with the finished product. Sometimes when you try to overwrite, you wind up messing up the whole concept of the book. Just put what you feel, you go over it, you critique it, but when you're satisfied, you leave it as it is, because that's my jewel. That's her jewel, and that's her jewel. And I'm sure there's more jewels to come after that. I've read books that were this thick and they were boring because it was too much put into it, too much dramatization put into it, and it wasn't sincere. Sometimes simple is better because it's to the point, and the reader can take away, and then not only that, they're looking forward to the next book. So yes, there's a lot of me in each person in this book, and I'm just very happy to really be here, because I'm just happy to really share this book with everyone. And I also, similar to what Giselle, there will be a sequel to this book coming out at the end of 2010.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Sorry, I've already asked the question. Go ahead. Right here. Yes.
Yeah.